Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So definitely a disappointing loss yesterday to the Detroit Lions. 20-17, we all know how it ended. But I'll say this. The playoffs, although it does feel a little overwhelming to kind of talk about and think about because of the 3 straight losses, because the Chargers keep winning games, because the Bengals keep winning games in these spots, I mean, it's really just musical chairs at the end of the day. You know, there's only so many chairs that could go around. Who's going to be in when it's all said and done? Although it is overwhelming to think about, the Jets still have a couple of ways, a couple of paths to the AFC playoffs. And in this one, I wanted to break it down. So again, the Bengals are rolling. They are probably going to be getting one of the 3 wildcard spots. The LA Chargers, on the other hand, another team that's just rolling, stacked a couple of really solid victories. And plus, we look at their remaining schedule. They got 3 games left at the Colts, against the Rams, at Denver Broncos. You gotta feel right now at 8-6 that the Chargers are probably going to be getting in, but the 3rd wild card has been implemented by the NFL. There is one more seat at the table, which opens up the door for the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, and the New York Jets. Currently, the Dolphins are in 2nd place in the AFC East at 8-6. The Patriots are in 3rd at 7-7 above the New York Jets because of a tiebreaker, and then of course the Jets are in 4th at 7-7. So the first path that the Jets could take to get into the playoffs definitely sounds easy, just like me saying it. When we look at the, the words on paper, words on the screen, it looks easy, right? It's a lot easier said than done. I get that completely, but there's still a chance. The Jets win out, they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, they beat the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, and then they go down south to Miami to beat the Dolphins, 3-0 in the last 3 games. The New England Patriots, on the other hand, will have to go 2-1 or worse, and the Jets will make it in. How does it kind of work? It's based off of tiebreakers and overall record. When we take a look at the last wildcard spot, assuming the Chargers get in, assuming the Bengals get in, the Jets would beat the Jags, Seahawks, and Dolphins, highlighting that last game against the Dolphins. It doesn't really matter what the Dolphins do in the first 2 games. They can win and go 2-1 as well, but the Jets would be winning against the Dolphins in the last week, and with both teams owning the same record with 10 wins apiece, the Jets would own the tiebreaker because the Jets would have, in theory, beaten the Dolphins 2 times. Okay, that is really, really important. Now, the Patriots, on the other hand, this is where it gets a little tricky because the Pats right now have a worse record than the Dolphins. They're 1 game back, but the Patriots own the tiebreaker over the Jets because the Pats beat the Jets twice. So when we look at the Patriots schedule, they play the Bengals, Dolphins, and then they go to Buffalo. And because the Jets and the Pats are both today 7-win teams, in this scenario here, the Jets would end the season with 10 wins, and the Patriots would end the season with 9 wins. So tiebreakers, we could throw them out the window. The Jets on paper have a better record than the Patriots, and they own the tiebreaker over Miami. Again, the Bengals get in, the Chargers get in, the Jets would own the final wildcard spot in this scenario. Okay, so scenario number 2 gets a little tricky. Okay, this is where things start to get a little confusing. Let's assume that the Jets lose this week, Thursday Night Football, to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, the Jags are playing really, really good football. Trevor Lawrence, it really does look like it's clicked for him. I mean, they're crazy enough, they are now thinking about the playoffs in the final 3 games because the Titans just lost to the Chargers. Crazy stuff, but let's assume the Jets lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Can they still make it in? The answer is yes. Surprisingly, yes. The Jets would have to go 2-1, beating the Seahawks and then the Dolphins in the final week. The Dolphins can either lose out or go 1-3 with their 1 win coming against the Patriots or the Packers. And then the Pats would also have to either A, lose out, or B, putting the Jets at 9-8, the Dolphins also at 9-8, and then the Patriots at 8-9 in 4th place. But once we add in the tiebreakers, again, this is really the bottom line. If the Jets finish with the same record as the Pats are moving forward. The Jets have no chance because of the tiebreakers. The Dolphins, on the other hand, assuming the Jets beat the Dolphins in the final week of the season. Okay, it doesn't work the other way around, unfortunately, because then the tiebreakers would get thrown out the window. So those are the two main playoff scenarios that I'm looking at here. Again, it's unfortunate that the Bengals and the Chargers keep winning games, and it really isn't as wide open as Jets fans would like to hope for. But at the end of the day, there are still options, there are still pathways for the Jets to get in. The hope is not dead. There is still a chance. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.